Have you ever found yourself doing anything, and I mean anything, just to survive? Picture this. A young kid named Quasion in Trenton, New Jersey. His story begins like many, in the hustle of a city that doesn't sleep, doesn't stop, and doesn't wait for anyone. From a tender age, Quasion was not a stranger to hard work, selling candy, peddling essential oils, cutting overgrown grass, and delivering newspapers just as the sun was rising. He was carving out a path for himself, one odd job at a time. Trenton, with its urban backdrop, shaped Quasion's hustle. It was a city that taught him the value of $1 and the worth of a day's work. But this was not just a story of a young, industrious boy. It was the tale of a child who was about to grow up too soon, forced to navigate a world that was far from forgiving. But as Quasion grew older, his path took a darker turn. What happens when the innocence of childhood meets the harsh realities of life on the streets? This is where our narrative takes an unexpected turn. As Quasion transitioned into adolescence, the allure of the street life began to cast a shadow over his aspirations. You see, the streets of Trenton, New Jersey offered a different kind of education, one that was far removed from the textbooks and classrooms of his junior high school. The lure of the thug life was no longer just a concept found in rap lyrics. It became a tangible path, a way of survival in a world that often seemed devoid of opportunities. Quasion found himself drawn to the quick money that came with selling weed. It wasn't just about the cash, though. It was about the power, the respect, the sense of belonging. It was about surviving in a world that seemed stacked against him. The pressure to make ends meet, to provide, to not just survive but thrive, led him down this path. However, this darker world was not without its perils. The danger lurked in every corner, every transaction, every encounter with rival gang members or the police. It was a life lived on the edge, a constant high-wire act with the threat of jail time or worse, always a misstep away. The struggle was real, the stakes were high, and the margin for error was razor thin. But life on the streets was not just about survival. It was about navigating a complex web of relationships, loyalties, and power dynamics. It was about learning the rules of the game and playing it better than anyone else. It was about resilience, resourcefulness, and an unyielding will to rise above the circumstances. But even amidst the chaos, a spark of belief remained within Quasion. A belief that he was more than just a product of his environment. A belief that he could rise above the allure of the streets and carve out a different path, a better future for himself. This tiny glimmer of hope, this unwavering belief in the possibility of a better life, would ultimately lead him toward a dramatic ending to this chapter of his life. Can one truly rise above their circumstances, redefine their future? Our protagonist, Quasion, was about to answer this question in the most profound way possible. Despite the harsh realities of his life, Quasion held on to a steadfast belief, a belief that he was not defined by his circumstances, but by his choices. A belief that a better life was not just a distant dream, but a tangible reality within his grasp. This belief was not just a flicker of hope, it was a blazing fire that illuminated his path forward. There were pivotal moments, turning points that marked Quasion's journey towards transformation. Moments of profound realization, when he looked around and saw a world that was far removed from the one he desired. He saw a future that was not his own, but one that had been dictated by the choices he had made. It was in these moments that Quasion made the decision to change his life. The journey from the street life to a life of purpose and fulfillment was not an easy one. It was fraught with struggles, with obstacles that threatened to derail his progress. But Quasion was not deterred. He was driven by the conviction that he could overcome, that he could triumph over adversity. He took steps one at a time, each one leading him further away from his old life and closer to the life he yearned for. He sought education, embraced hard work, and fostered relationships that uplifted him. He pursued opportunities that were once out of reach, and with each victory, he grew stronger, more resolute. The transformation was not an overnight phenomenon. It was a journey marked by determination, resilience, and an unwavering belief in the power of change. And so Quasion, once a child hustler turned street dealer, had transformed into a testament of change, a beacon of hope in a world that offered little.